Okay, so we're going to start now this video talking about 25% off of the price. You remember part of the flight information is that you need to find, what 25% off the price is. We're going to put your airline flight on sale. So that means we're going to take off 25% of the price. So what exactly does it mean when you hear something's on sale for 25% off? That means if you have the whole price, so if you look at my picture here, if you have the whole price, well, there's 25% of it that you're just going to take off. We're going to get rid of. We're not responsible to pay that. Okay? So if you're not responsible for paying for 25% of 25%, remember, percent is out of 100. So if there's 25%, you're not responsible for paying. You're responsible for paying for the rest of the 100%, or that 75%. So this is how we're going to treat it. We're going to not really treat it as taking 25% off of something. We're going to treat it that since it's 25% off, you're responsible, you have to pay. The sale price is 75% of the whole price. Okay? So that's how we're going to deal with this. First, let's talk about that word. Percent. Right? There's other ways we can talk about percents. We can talk about percents as fractions, percents as decimals. For the purpose of this and what we've been doing all along, we're going to talk about percent as its name. Percent. Per 100. CENT means 100. Think about percents as in, think about cents as in 100 cents in a dollar. Think about cents as in 100 years in a century. Think about cents as in 100 centimeters in a meter. The word cent, C-E-N-T, means per 100. So if you're paying 75%, you're paying 75 per every $100. In this case, since we're talking percents of a price. So you are responsible for 75 out of $100 of that whole price, right? So the 100% refers to our whole, and the 75, well, that's our part. So we can look at percent as a part to whole ratio, right? The whole 100% is the price, $920 is the price we're going to work with. So it's all 920. Well, you're only responsible for 75 out of every 100 of those $920. Okay? And since this is a ratio, and it acts like a fraction and looks like a fraction, and in reality percents are fractions, we can simplify this. So percents are kind of like the bridge between the two. They act as fractions and as ratios. So, we said that ratios are ratios and they're not fractions. They act like fractions. Well, percents kind of fall into both categories. But for this, we're going to treat it as a ratio. So divide top and bottom by 25 and we get 3 to 4. So again, you're responsible now for 3 out of every $4 that something costs. And in the case of our airline tickets, if you remember, flying to Germany, it was $920 for those airline tickets. So that's the price that I'm going to take, that I'm going to use to find my sale price. So we're responsible for 3 out of every $4 on a $920 flight. Right. So we need to find out, well, how much is that then? How much is 3 out of every $4? As with any ratio, we can multiply the top and bottom by the same number. The only question is, what's that number? So that's what we need to do first. So we're really saying 4 times what is 920? Well, we need to divide 920 divided by 4. Okay, so 4 goes into 9 once. Actually, correction. 4 goes into 9 twice. 1, bring down the 2. 4 goes into 12 3 times. Bring that down. I get 0. We're not done dividing yet. Remember, our decimal point's here. And if I brought it up to the quotient line, I have an open place value right there waiting for a number in it. Everything should line up vertically on our place values. As we divide, we move left to right. So bring down this other 0. 4 goes into 0 0 times. And subtract. And we really shouldn't look at this and say, oh, it's 23, because it doesn't make sense. 4 times 23 is not 920. So make sure that we divide correctly. Okay? So that means that we multiplied 4 times 230 to get the 920, which means we need to multiply the 3 times 230. And we find out that, well, 3 times 0 is 0, 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 2 is 6. So the sale price, our sale price is $690. So since you're responsible for 3 out of every $4, well, there's 230 groups of those $4 in 920, which means you're responsible for 3 of those 230 groups. 3 out of every 230 groups. So you're responsible for $690. That is the sale price. Okay? So that's how we're going to do it. We're going to treat it as a ratio. We're looking at it as, all right, since it's 25% comes off of the wholesale price, that means you're responsible to pay 75% of the wholesale price, or 75 out of every $100 you're responsible for, as a ratio, which is equivalent to 3 out of every $4 that you're responsible for paying for. Which, if we're going to do that, I'm going to move this a little down and out of the way. Right? So that means 4 times 230 is 920. Multiply the top, 3 times 230 is 690. Well, 690 out of 920 is equivalent to 3 out of 4, which we already know is equivalent to 75 out of 100, which is equivalent to 75%, which is equivalent to, right, the part that you are responsible for paying for. Okay? So that's how using the ratio, is how we're going to find out what 25% off of our price is. Since it's 25% off of, you're responsible for paying the 75%, or the 3 out of $4 on your airline tickets. Again, mine was 920, so 3 out of 4 is equal to 690 out of 920. So the 690, let's make it exciting. The 690 is our sale price. So when you make your slide, you're going to tell me original price, and the sale price. On the worksheet, too fat. On the worksheet, this is where you show me your ratios and the work. Okay? And that's that.